Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we will discuss about the best war mobile games. If you ever looked for war games on your iPhone Android device, you will know what we mean to say. It's akin to walking into a swamp to find your wallet, hundreds upon hundreds of tower defense, sniper, a risk, and RTS clones can often feel like they are drowning out any other kind of games. That's why we decided to create a list of the best mobile war games to celebrate the genre, which can often feel drowned by its strategy at a large with free to play gacha games, MOBAs providing high on impossible to resist. PC is the only place to find a good war games. Plenty of best mobile games are gems hidden in the plain sight, adopting the both of conflicts of the ancient world of military history and a modern warfare. War game is very much alive and modern warfare and live and kicking and can be seen in any of the game in this list. Equipped with the latest swamp draining technology, we have able to bring together a games currently available on iOS and Android. If you are looking to upgrade on your Go experience, check out the best portable gaming consoles guide for the latest and greatest. The best war games are Supermassive 1914, the World War III, Conflicts of World War III, Warpath, Companies of Hero, Pacific Free Fire, Heroes No Mankind, War Across Vietnam 65, Panzer Corps, Carrier Battles, Drive on Moscow, John Tyler, Modern Campaigns, John Tyler Civil Wars, John Newton's Conflict, Supermassive 1. Supermassive 1914. There are tons of the great strategy war games on mobile, and Supermassive 1941 is the among the best in it. If you have a selection of playable nations chosen from, then you take to get the choose path that the country makes you the first world war unfolds. Always doubt a certain country would made a different decision. Well, this is your chance to see how they have might turned out. It is a free to play game. You will be playing against enormous selection of other players whom will all doing their best to ensure their nation's victory. Every nation plays a little differently and each one gives you a huge selection of options. Do you want to develop an experimental of new technology? Do you want to fortify your military forces, or maybe you think you prudent to boost your economy? Whatever you choose and you can do it. The impact outcome of the war game will last weeks or even months in real life. It gives you a great opportunity to flex your strategy of muscles. Call of War World War II. Call of War World War II is the game who follows the same kind of formula of Supermassive 1940, except instead of focusing on the World War, you guessed it, it focused on the Second World War. You prefer the large come down the era. You are more interested in needless. This is a jam packed with the details will be appealed to those who know their World War II military history. You will choose 10 nations to play as you, then you get decide exactly how that country navigates through the war. Since the single game will last a week or probably even months, just like Supermassive 1940, you will find soon yourself getting really caught up in the eager to finish the school work so that you can see things are progressing. Conflict of Nation World War III, a long-term game strategy game sees you playing against the 100 player from the around globe. In the match, you can last week and sometimes even up to a month. You as you slowly build your strength, eliminate other players. It's free to play game. The game has a decent level of depth. You can be even playing through your web browser. For more thoughts on the game, see our Conflict of Nation World War III review. Another game is World Warpath. Warpath is a old history WW2 strategy game where you can a variety of air and land units across the familiar battlefields, including Eastern Front of the beach of Normandy, starting out with the only small militia. You will be grown your army size and strength to beat a takedown of Dread Raven faction. If you are just starting out, to be sure, take a gender at our list of Warpath codes for some free goodies. Company of Heroes, while it may not fit in the tradition of definition of war game, Company of Hero is none other less the one of the finest World War II RTS experience of the past 20 years, and it's finally on Android and iOS. Feral Interactive has gone the great job posting over the classic of mobile, offering reworked interface and some smart touchscreen controls. It's a still bitty fiddly in place, but it plays as very well. For more, see our Company of Heroes review. Pacific Fire. Pacific Fire generally new entries into the category are rare, but thankful to 2019 gave us a real indie gem to add to this list. Wherever the Pacific Fire is a cheap but surprisingly deep combined arms war game that throws you into the Pacific theaters of World War II. There are plenty of scenarios to offer portray from the both of the sides conflicts, and it's your job to make sure to use the ground, sea and air assets you have been available in the order to capture secure your objectives. This is a solitaire game experience, but the developer has stated several times that it is fully complicated to adding content to this game as we working on new titles that follow the same format. We especially compiling about this is a Vago turn-based format where third orders are resolved simultaneously. This is a great war game available at a great price. Have a look on our Pacific Fire review for more details. Heroes of Normandy. Not only this is a adaptation of plenty decent physical war game, the same name, it's a plenty decent war game on its own merit as well, taking the inspiration from the classic hex encounter style game. Heroes of Normandy instead use a square of third grid and more scale counters pieces that display squad of troops, vehicles, and individual commanders that really are a squad level tactics. The games that involve a die roll and action cards, but also careful use of units, abilities, and surrounding terrain. Silther did an excellent job to adapting a game to a digital, retaining the larger than the life art style of the board and playing the pieces while offering a way to play the game without having a try and read the convoluted rule book or deal with all types of those pieces. Silther has perhaps a little ahead of the curve when its launch in 2016. The support we expect derive the growing popularity of a digital board game ports at $14.99 or 12.50 euro. It's definitely one of the more expensive games out here, but if you want something to meaty yet portable, this is worth the expense. Unfortunately, the Silther has always been an Android verse, so we doubt it will be ever appear over there. War across the world, presenting a universal take on war game systems. War across the world tackles a range of scenario that fighting forest timber on a minute, storming the beach Normandy, the next for the finally taking seance on the 6 days of war. We were very impressed with how well the mechanics translate from the era to era, offering the consistency fun. The challenging experience by Spock Favor introduced the via card system, which can also be meaningful tactics and strategic choices. The games only comes with a tutorial and the additional scenario, hence the cheap price, but so far no one cheap scenario offering the disappointed. The Berlin 1955 scenario is currently our favorite. Vietnam 65, the core mechanics of Vietnam 65 simulates the nature of the contender in density plausible and realistic manner. Consistent pleasure to the presence of the in the field makes it hard to gather you the forces you need to destroy enemies' bases without compromising somewhere else. Its result is demanding one more turn experience. The developer made a follow-up of the game in Afghanistan, which is really good. Covers that follows in 2001 war Afghanistan. You are put in a charge of American forces. You can build up the hearts, their minds, local populace. Whilst the trackling Taliban sponsored insecurement, sadly the Apple removed the game from the App Store. It has to yet return, but you can still pick it up on PC if you want. Panzer Corps. This war game is a hailed spiritual successor of the wildly successful 1990 series. The Panzer General Panzer Corps is a lightweight, play free to linked scenarios which your forces upgraded there through the 8000 unit types. The challenge is taking specific objective within the time limit whilst you're retaining force, but it probably it's a not good choice for anyone more interested in actual simulation or the order specific battles. The carrier battle for the Glondical. This is an outstanding carrier battle war game played in an option level in the Pacific. Excellent AI, easy interface, accessible consume the with its realism plausibility make it a must buy if you want any of you interested in the naval operation. Most of we love how the game pairs in no time confronting you with your challenging decision while also into the thick of it. A successfully Kickmaster means the game will be also coming on Android and the desktop PC in the near future. Another game is Drive on Moscow. There is an optional heavy level area activation game that allows you to defend on the drive. Moscow's battling with the realistic units and the clock. You will need the series of agonist decisions drive with a war game that keeps you on the drive, trying work out whether it's a good time to push ahead or fall back. The outcome is determined by your skill in the judging those movements correctly. Realistic, tense, and accessible. There is a more excellent game indeed. John Myler Modern Campaigns. This is the series of operational level games covering the Arab Israeli wars, hypothetical Cold Wars in 1972. These are the gems provide the details order in the battle, the great fog of war, and realistic tactical combat element. However, the core system is admittedly dated. AI isn't great. The help of experience it can provide the particular plausible command simulation if the matters you. If you don't like the endless drop down menus, then these games won't be for you. Accessible is not the key strength. Modern Campaigns Quad 372, Modern Campaigns MIDI 67, Modern Campaigns Northern German Plain 85, Modern Campaigns Florida Gap 85. John Tyler Civil War. There are a ton of Civil War battle games. There are complete waste of a time war and the however JTS Civil War Battle series does provide a tactically solid game with strong order battle backup with good combat mechanics. However, they are like modern campaigns. The core system is dated and the overall simulation of the command experience doesn't feel right. You will be hard pushed to find a better hardcore tactical war game out there with 11 in this series. You will plenty play with. It's important to note unlike installment in this series has been released on Android yet. Civil War Battle, Civil War Antietam, and the Battle of Sido and the Battle of Canceroloville, the battles of Venezuela, the Battle of Chickamauga, the battles of Ozark, the Battle of Corinth, and the Petersburg Campaign, the Battle of Atlanta, the Battle of Franklin. These are the more JTs on the Android. iOS than the Android. Its addition to above JTS put out the some of the Panzer campaigns as well as the both an air warfare, a naval war game. All are can be check out on the our best mobile strategy games if you want your something general war gaming. Johnny Newton's The Conflict series. The conflicts cover the huge series of World War II operational levels. The main thing about these war games that they are very accessible and there's plenty of main reason for their success as well as their responsible pricing and the efficient design and the downside of this game don't look especially great. There are after plenty far from visual perspective. AI can also be poor, which without two players makes their game's long-term viability somehow limited. Mutants are the title bit too numerous to the list. Here are the for the catalog of the games he has created. If you enjoyed tile based game you will certainly guide or our the best digital board games on online supermassive ones. If you have already fan of a long term strategy game then the supermassive one is might for you. Much conflict nation of World War III. The your battle plays out the globe stage of the fight against the 83 players in the realm, slowly making the advantage of gaining platform. You can also be played in your web browser, making it plenty of accessible war game. And then watch the mobile war games we have. If you are already looking for some other tactics, RTS or turn-based titles to play, check out our list of the best mobile strategy game. If you are more of a deck-based person, chance on our list best card game, the Kazoo Paradise Code, the Roblox Friday deals, and the mobile bargains of this year. Pokemon Violet is beating Scarlet in the popularity race, and the Pokemon Violet's Caraglio is catching the attentions of trainer. The titling of Jensen's Impact, MS Hina, Growthy, and Ito. The win a copy of a Scarlet Violet and the Holidays, the magnificent Android shooters that made with Asus ROG. You don't want to put down this game in the magnificent Android games with the Asus ROG Phone 6s. Impressive battery, you don't want to. The most mobile games are designed for the short burst of the play, giving you the chance to put them down after a few minutes. But when you are sinking your teeth into bigger game like experimentally craft shooter, for example, you might keep playing until your battery is used up. However, that long may be. For some phones, it might not be very long yet, but the Asus ROG Phone 6 it shouldn't have been an issue. The device is a health of well-being, providing 6000 mAh of battery is certainly up there, providing hours of uninterrupted gaming time. No matter how you throw at it, we have picked a small of handful magnificent Android shooter that benefit from having such a beefy battery powering them. Read on that can be sure check them out. They are all free to play and also available at now.